again, and let's go back to Ephesians chapter 4. Just want to kind of get refocused here. And boy, I needed that last session. Boy, I needed it. And that was good. It helped me out. And it's encouraging. And I appreciate Pastor's boldness and candor on that as well. And I'm grateful. Ephesians chapter 4, verse number 1, it says, "Therefore, prisoner of the Lord, beseech you that ye walk worthy of the vocation wherein ye are called." We've been talking about having a worthy walk. And what does a worthy walk mean? And part of having a worthy walk is, number one, unity. We talked about that. We looked at our four circles. The one in the middle is ministry. The one on the top was unity. The one on the left was strategy. And the one on the right was clarity. Okay? And so we want to keep those in balance. All right? That's not everything, but that's what we're talking about over the last day and a half. And we want to continue to talk on that, because there must be a balance in our ministry. We must have unity. And there's a lot to say about unity, okay? It's not always uniformity, but sometimes it is. Okay, I mentioned that yesterday. It's not, unity doesn't mean uniformity, but it can. There must be some cohesiveness. I don't want the message of First Bible, which is the message of bearing precious seed, which is the message of First Baptist Church, which is the message of God, to be disturbed or construed because we're not saying the same message within our ministry. And so there's something to say about that. Anyway, I want to talk to you about strategy. Jeffrey, would you help me again? Brother Kim, would you help me and pass this out? I'm sorry, I should have done that before. But I want to talk about strategy for a moment today. And as you get your notes, we're going to talk about 4 groups of people you must prepare for. Okay? This is preparation ahead of time. We need to be prepared. And 4 groups of people you must prepare for. Now these, again, you may find different groups of people. You might find different groups of people. Is that mine?
Must be yours, can't be mine.
Mine. All right. Okay, let's look at our notes. There's 4 groups of people you need to be prepared for. The blank number 1, or point number 1 is you. You need to be prepared for you. You need to have strategy. You need to have direction. You need to be clear. You need to have the information. You need to have it in front of you. You need to review it. You need to lay it out. So the first person you need to be prepared for is you. I'm going to show you some examples today of what I've produced over the years, and I need it for me. I need it to, and I'll give you the 6 reasons why you need it for these people. Okay, so the first group of people, which is an individual, is you. All right? The second on your paper is those who support you. You need information. You need to write things down. You need to have planning. You need to have goals for those that support you. We need to give an answer for those that support you. Now, you may not give all the breakdowns and financial reports and things of that nature, but those that support you need to know that you're meeting your goals, that you're making progress, that you're going forward. And so there are things that you could prepare. If you will prepare ahead of time, and if you will structure your ministry in a certain way, then you'll have the information. It'll be there. You'll have the structure so that you can provide it for you, and you can provide it for those who support you. Now again, not all the information is going to get out to all of these 4, but you'll have it. So you must prepare for you. You must prepare for those who support you. Now, look, it's just not your financial supporters. Your wife supports you, men. She needs to know what's happening. She needs to know what's going on. So it's just not for you, it's for those that support you. And it's just not the supporters of the church that giving you financial support. It might be the lady that's praying for you at church, or the guy that is encouraging you in Sunday school class. Those who are in your support base. And it's just not financial is what I'm saying. So it needs to be for you. It needs to be for those who support you. It needs to be, you need to be prepared for those that follow you. That follow you. I know we've talked about this before with some of you, but obviously there's different people in here, new people, missionaries here. You need to be concerned about people following you. You need to lead, and people need to follow, and they need to be informed. Where are you taking me? Where are we going? What's this journey going to look like? I don't want blind followers. I don't want people that are following just to say, okay, whatever you want to do, let's just do it. We'll just move around here. I want them to be clear. I want them to understand what is our strategy. And we need to develop strategy, whether you use what I've developed or what somebody else has developed, but find it. Find it for yourself. Develop a strategy. You need it. Those that support you need it. Those that follow you need it. And lastly, those who replace you need it. Those who replace you need it. Now, let me give you an illustration. There's 3 ways that I can approach the person that's going to replace me. Okay? Here's the first way. Here you go. Figure it out. You know what I have in my hands?
Nothing.
Right, exactly. Nothing. So I can approach it that way. The person that is going to replace me, and by the way, you better be concerned about that. I made mention before, if you're not concerned about someone that is replacing you, then maybe your ministry is not worthy of having.
Yeah.
If your ministry is not worthy of being replaced, then why are you doing it anyway? It's going to die with you. The ministry must go on. It must go beyond you. And so you can either get to that point and say here and have nothing. Or, we'll step out of the camera view for a second. Or you can say here, here's some disheveled pieces of paper and some photo albums. Figure it out. Am I truthful?
Yeah.
This is where we were back in the 50s. Good pictures, great stories. God worked in that. But they're not going to be able to figure out disheveled papers and photo albums.
Right.
There's no plan, there's no strategy in that. There's no direction in that. There's no help in that. And I'm afraid that that's what happens. And so people get discouraged, people get upset, and people leave, and ministry dies. Am I telling the truth or not? Okay, I'll set this down because it's heavy. Or, you can say, here, this is what we're about. This is how you do things. Now let's talk about this. This is how we function. This is what our heart is. This is what we've been working on. This is who we partner with. This is our goals. These are our plans. And say, yeah, this is the direction we're heading. And you can do it one of 3 ways. I would suggest the third way, because I've had it all three ways. I don't like it, the other two. And so, what I'm saying is, you need to base a strategy on you yourself. You need to have a strategy that would help those that support you, help them understand. You need to have a strategy laid out for those who follow you. And you need to have a strategy for those who replace you. And so you get the point there. There's 6 reasons for preparing a strategy. 4 reasons. These are beneficial to your ministry, okay? And you may have different reasons. I'm just giving you mine, all right? I'm just giving you my reasons. Number 1, accountability. I need to have a strategy for accountability. I need to be held accountable to, accountable for. I need to be accountable. I need to be accountable. I need to be accountable, obviously, to God, but I need to be accountable to myself. I need to be accountable to those who support me, follow, and replace me. So accountable. I need to have a strategy for structure. We've talked about that. I won't belabor that point, but accountability for structure. I need it for information. Number 3, information. There's information that I need to know. There's information my supporters need to know. There's information those that follow me need to know. There's information that people that replace me need to know. The 4th thing on your list, 6 reasons for preparing a strategy, is measurables. We need to have measurables. How do you know if you're doing a good job? How do you know if you're accomplishing your goal without measurables? How do we know if we're gaining ground? Well, we did. We gained ground. Well, compare 3 years ago to now. Well, I don't know. We need to have measurables. 6 reasons why we need to prepare a strategy. Number 5 is vision. It helps me stay focused on my vision. It helps our supporters stay focused on our vision. It helps down the list. And the last one is story. And that's kind of odd, but write that down, story. Like telling a story. That's how you convey to other people what you do. How they can get involved. How they can enter into this story of, for my sake, providing Bibleist people groups their first Bible. I need to have this information down so that I can help people get involved in the story of providing Bibleist people groups their first Bible. Wouldn't you like to be in that story? Wouldn't you like to be a part of providing Bibleist people groups their first Bible? I think most of us would, but I've got to be able to tell that story so that they can get into the story, and we'll talk about that possibly later. So, again, a little bit of repetition here. As you develop your strategy, ask yourself these 4 questions. What's important to me? What's important to those who support me? That's the next 4 blanks. What's important to those who follow me, and what's important to those who replace me? Now, this is something that I've done almost all of the years that I've been in full-time ministry. The first couple of years, I was trying to pull out of my leader what all this was. And we started to develop a book, and I know you can't see it, but I'll make sure these are available. Every year we would develop this book, and I'll tell you why. We would develop this book because, one, I didn't have a lot of interaction with my pastor other than church time, or meeting around the water cooler, whatever. And I wanted my pastor, he did not require this of me or of our ministry at all. He still doesn't. But I wanted him and the director of our ministry, again, we've got a circle here. God, First Baptist Church, Bearing Precious Seed, First Bible International, me. All right? I am accountable to these other... Can I can I make mention to you? I'm not trying to accomplish the goals of First Bible. Now, that's an odd statement. I'm trying to accomplish the goals of First Baptist Church of Milford that has been given by God. And I do that by accomplishing the goals of First Bible. My goals have to line up with the church's goals, not the church's goals have to line up with mine. You understand that? So I'm basing my strategy based on the church, but I wanted to make sure that that my pastor knew what we were doing, so we started to develop a book. And again, you can do it however you want, or you don't have to do it. I don't know what's required of you, or what will be required of you, but I think this is a good thought. I started with a theme. Every year we would do a theme, and what that theme did is it helped the group that we were working together. It might be your family, okay? Might be you and your wife. You might say, listen, dear, this year, this is what the Lord has put on my heart for this year, and this is something we're going to work on, and you have a theme. It's laid out. Because our ministry, and again, I don't expect you to see all this, but our ministry at that time, Seedline, had to do with production, okay? How many scriptures we did, how many locations we went, how many churches we went. You can measure anything if you want. The Bible measures grains of sand, okay? It also measures, he says, I've meted out the waters in the hollow of my hand. So you can measure whatever you want. But we measured, and so what we did was we started to say, okay, what did we do this month? What were measurables for us? We started to write those down and to put them in forms so that I can see and that those that work with me see. And so we would measure those things out, and we would break them down in certain ways. What happened is every year I'd have a 4 to 5 hour meeting with pastor and our director, and the guys would come in, and we would give this to him. And we'd say, Pastor, this is our theme. Pastor, this is what we are trying to accomplish. Pastor, this is what's been done. And we'd go through the book, and it takes some time to do that, but it informed him what was going on. Can I say this? And I mean, I think this is true. My pastor doesn't question what we're doing. You know why? Because I've taken time and I've showed him. Now, I don't think your pastor questions what you do, but I just wanted to make sure that he didn't. What happened is in this, I'd come to him in 2004 and give him a book, and we'd go through it. I'd come to him in 2005, and I'd give him another book. I came to him in 2006, and we gave him another book. But this time, he came with 2005's book, 2004's book. And I was thinking, okay, well, we're here in 2006. And what he did was he laid out 2004, he laid out 2005, he laid out 2006, and he compared them. And he started asking me questions. Well, Dale, how about this? Dale, how about that? Where are you at here? How come you didn't meet this goal? And I got wise to that. So I eventually put it all on one piece of paper. I said 2004, 2005, 2006, and I put it there for him. Because I want to be clear. And so, again, I'm just talking about strategy. We broke down the levels of our church. In Seedline, we have 3 groups. We have the project level, we have the planted level, and we have the partnering level. And those are the churches that work with us. And again, here's the goals. We brought in a new man that year. His name was Phil Taylor. Okay? And we made a proposal of what we were going to do and what we were going to, a 1-year plan. Here's our 1-year plan, Pastor, with this new guy that's coming in, which was unheard of. And the 1-year plan was work with Phil and train him for the ministry. Goal number 1. Cross-train at BPS. Goal number 2. we wanted him to maintain the Seedline webpage, goal number 3. We wanted to equip him with a trailer by the end of the year, goal number 4. And goal number 5 was to focus him on project church level. Okay? Here's a plan. Here's a strategy. This is what we're going to do. Now, there was a lot of details in that, but this is how we lay. Okay? Year number 2, right here. I could go back to it. I'm going back to it now. I've not seen this in years. Year number 2, continue training. That means going back to year number 1. Focus on project level churches. And then you go on. And so what I'm saying is, if you develop your strategy and you develop measurables and you do it for accountability and you have a structure, here's, we put in here, Seedline at a glance. Okay? And this was a little financial worksheet. Okay? And I don't post this for everybody, but I want my pastor to know. Am I fiscally responsible? Doesn't he have the right to know that? And again, you may not, it may not apply to you, but you're responsible for the people that you're going to lead there in China.
Right.
You're going to be responsible for the folks you lead there. So I'm talking to everybody here. Okay? And so here's a worksheet. Here it is. I also put on here the blessings for 2006. Well, in 2006, we invested in a truck for the ministry. Okay? You know what that did? It accomplished the goal we had back here with Phil. We invested in a truck for the ministry. We finalized all financial issues with Brother Larry's truck. That's my father-in-law. Phil came full-time in the ministry. Vicky, my wife, became the secretary. My mother-in-law was no longer the secretary, and she handed over all the responsibilities to my wife. But we had some responsibilities that we cleaned up with her. And so it goes on, and I won't bore you with all of that, but we had some goals. And then we were able to give some praise. And okay, here's something in here. It's called additional proposals. What were we proposing? What were we proposing this year? What do we want to do? What do we want to accomplish? And what I could do was go back during the year, and this could be my guide. And I don't know what you're going to do. I don't know how you do it. I don't know what you currently do. I don't know what you're going to do in the future. But I want to make sure that I have a strategy. For me, for those who support me, for those that follow me, those that will replace me, I have some reasons for that. It's for accountability, for structure, information, for measurables, for vision, and for us to tell the story. Now, let me give you some things that you could do within a format like this, okay? And you already have them on there. I wanted to track progress. I wanted to gauge production. I wanted to measure productivity, and those have differences. I wanted to set yearly goals. I wanted to provide a theme. I wanted to plan for the future. I wanted to expose problems. I wanted to communicate. I wanted to have a big picture. I wanted to reinforce accountability. I wanted to use it for education. I need it for fundraising. I need it for support. I need it for unity. I need it for consistency. I need it for ministry development. I need it for improved focus. And again, that's a lot of words. That's a lot of stuff. I open up the fire hydrant. But those are things that I want to do. And those are the reasons why I produce something that I could take out year after year, year after year. I can go back and I can look. Did I accomplish? Oh man, boy, I forgot about this. I go back and, okay, this is the way I was supposed to do it. And so I forget. And so I need to write things down. Let me give you these 7 main questions. And again, these are 7 main questions you may ask yourself, but these are 7 questions that I try to ask myself. Now listen, folks, I don't have it all together. I don't have all my ducks in a row. I'm learning this, and so I'm really teaching this on the fly because I got a lot of issues. Okay, 7 main questions. Am I satisfied with where my ministry is today? Am I satisfied with that? On a scale of 1 to 10, are you satisfied? On a scale of 1 to 10. Okay, think in your mind. Just picture in your mind a number. Where are you at? What's the number? Okay? Am I satisfied with where my ministry is today? Your ministry might be in support with your husband. Your ministry might be to go to Turkey. You know, whatever it is. Are you satisfied with your ministry today? My question is, what are you basing that criteria on? Are you basing it on the support level you have? Are you basing it on the number of salvations that you've seen? Are you basing that on how prepared you are? Are you basing that on? What are you basing that on? And I think all those things must come together. All right? So, I don't know how many people we have in here. Let's just say 50 people. Okay? Let's just pick out a number. Let's say we have 50 people in here. And let's just say if we added all of our numbers together, okay? If we were all on one team, okay? Let's just say we're all on one team, we're all in the same ministry. And you wrote a number down where you think our ministry is, and I wrote a number down what I think our ministry is, and we added all that together, where would we be? So it could be 500, right? Isn't that 10 times 50? Okay. But what is it really? 312? So my question is, what's our plan to increase that number? What's our goal to make that number closer? Okay? So that's the second question. That's within the first question. Where's my ministry today? What is our plan to increase it? Second question, why does my ministry exist? We've already talked about that. What's our purpose? Number 3, what programs does my ministry solve? These are just good questions to have. If you're developing a strategy, I'm just saying these are good questions to solve. These are good questions to ask. What does my ministry solve? What problems could my ministry solve? When I go to Australia, what am I trying to solve here? And if I can't put my finger on what I'm trying to solve, well, we're trying to solve everybody's lost. Well, I mean that's pretty general. Okay? Well, you might be trying to solve, I don't know. I don't know. My mind can't function. But the question is, what are you trying to solve? What's the purpose? Number 4, what is my number 1 goal? And again, that goes back to our core focus. What's my number 1 goal? Where do I see my ministry in 10 years? Oftentimes, we're not thinking that far. And again, you may not reach that goal. You may not get there. I don't get there, but at least I've got something to shoot at. Number 6, what is the one thing that I want to accomplish this year? Now, I sometimes go a whole year, I've got 10 things I want to accomplish, but I get at the end of the year and I've not got any of them done. So the next year, boy, I got these 10 things. And I don't accomplish it. I'm saying, what is the one thing? If you could accomplish one thing this year, what would it be? And if you could accomplish that in 10 years, you got 10 things done. But maybe you can accomplish that in 6 months, and you've got another goal. So list, what is one thing in my ministry? Maybe my one thing is I need $500 more support. And $500 more support gets me to my eventual goal. Well, that needs to be what I focus on. That's what I need to work on. Maybe I need to focus on writing curriculum for discipleship, or to find discipleship material. And maybe that's my goal. Whatever that one goal is that year, are you focused on that? And number 7, and I think this is an important question. And again, these are just simple questions that you can take and you can apply to your ministry. Can my vision survive without me? That's a heavy question. Brother Kim, do you want to reach the Chinese people, or you just want to reach the Chinese people while you can? Do you want to say, I want to reach the Chinese people, but beyond me, I don't have any vision for that? No, you want vision beyond you. You want vision beyond yourself. And so if you're not there, how does that carry on? So can my vision survive without me? Producing a vision, and again, I know I'm just throwing a lot of information out there, is a lengthy process, but it's well worth it. You say, Brother Money, where do I start? Well, start with the team that you have. Start with the information you have. Start with the resources you have. Start with the knowledge you have. Start wherever you want to start. Just start. Just start. Doesn't matter. Just start. Start somewhere. Start writing things down. Start meeting as a team, and talking about these things. Again, you say, Brother Money, what's my team? Well, your wife is your team. Okay? That's your team right there. That's your team right there. Let's just start with the team I got. Soon you're going to have a bigger team. You're going to get where you're going to go, and you're going to start working with those people, and you're going to start developing with those, and your team gets bigger. Start with the team that you have. Start with the resources you have, and then build off of that. I want to, during this, we're going to be done here. Jeffrey, Mr. Brother Kim, would you help me one more time? I'm going to give you something for couples. Okay. I don't have enough for everybody, but if you're a couple. And just turn with me to page number 6. I don't want you to get lost in this thing. Turn to page 6 and just turn it like this. Okay? Page 6, turn it like this. All right? I don't want you focused on everything else. Let's just keep focused here. Okay? Page number 6. All right? I know. Woo! Yeah, woo! But I'm just, again, I want to share. I'm not there yet. I don't have it all together. And these are things that we need to pray about. We just don't need to come up with stuff. We need to come up in the presence of the Lord and amongst ourselves.